My goal is to give you the timely insights and tips to help you master the game of finance and ultimately help you achieve your financial goals. Hi, my name is Connie from Prosperity Finance. How are you doing? Today, I'm going to share with you a very exciting news. We recently helped a couple successfully purchase their home and they are ready to settle now. When these clients actually looking for buying home, they approach local banks, but unfortunately got declined. And then they approached another banks and also had a decline. And then later they almost gave up, but then they talked to their friends and their friends referred them to us. And after spending time with the client, getting to know the situation and the goals, we successfully managed getting approval for them. And they act very quickly. So within a month from the initial consultation to purchasing a home, it's all done and dusted. So I'm going to share with you in this video about the reason the bank declines and what's the reason we had success in the end. So let's start with the background first. So this is a young couple in their 20s. The wife works for a cafe part-time, and her net income is about 16,000 a year, net annual income. The husband has a mechanic workshop business. Now, early before he had this business, he actually worked in this business as well and gained some experience. Now, they looking to buy a home with a budget about 850K in Auckland. And currently they're living in their workshop, so it wasn't kind of ideal kind of living conditions. They are looking for a warm home and settle down with their family. So when I review the client situation, what I noticed that the husband company was actually set up 15 years ago. And then I noticed their financial for the last 2 years. And the latest year was actually tenfolds of sales than the previous year. And I puzzled because for a established business, with over a decade trading history, what could cause such rapid growth? And that's the question, and that's the concern the bank will have as well. And that's probably the main reason they decline the application. Now, after talking to clients, we understand this company, despite they set up 15 years ago, but the husband took over the company in late 2018. So the previous trading was actually irrelevant. It was only last 2.5 years trading was as a result of his management. And for any new business, even though they were established but different owner, they all have a different skill sets, they have a different strategy, etc. And in this case, the husband have done an awesome job. He made some changes to the business, improved the quality of the service. So they had a lot of repeated clients and they had more marketing. So as a result, they had rapid growth, but they're all legit. But bank may not get to know the story. And we can also evidence from the recent GST return and bank statement. In fact, despite the lockdown at the moment, Auckland, this year, they're doing even better than the 2021. So we are very comfortable presenting their case to the right lender and explain the reason the business has grown so much. That's the main reason, I guess, the bank decline and the reason why we can, had approval. The second reason for the decline is the servicing ability. Customers are not, short with the deposit, they are fine, but the servicing is not so good, especially considering, the financials for 2020, which had a little kind of profit. So they also have a business loan that's for purchasing equipment and a company vehicle. the loan size was not big. It's probably 20K balance. But what they're not aware is that the implication for the home loan was actually many times. So 20K kind of business loan, it can affect over 100K home loan. So after knowing they have the cash to pay off the business loan, we recommend they pay that off. So we submit the application, present the application to the right lender that who is willing to buy into the story and happy to use the latest financial results. And also the customer paid off the business loan before the application. That was the success factor. But besides that, the customer also did an awesome job. Firstly, they didn't give up at all. If they give up, they may not get onto property ladder anymore because the price, it just keeps increasing. It's very hard to catch up with their limited deposit. And secondly, they seek professional advice. They initially went to the banks themselves, but later they find us and we give them the professional advice, and they really trust us. They followed our advice and they act very quickly. And they also proactively hunting for property. The home they purchased was only on the market when they made an offer. They act very quickly and present really good offer with the right finance date. It's not too long, but not too short. That gives them that pressure, to make a decision. So I think that's partially that's from our help that make the success, but also the client also did an awesome job. And the combination of both sides made success. And we are so excited for them because that's what we do. That's why we do what we do, seeing we add value to client and make impact. That's give us, so much motivation to keep going and help more clients. So I guess the moral of this story is if you get declined from the bank, never give up. Sometimes you don't know how to wrestling with the banks, but getting professional advice is crucial to your success. I hope you find this video useful. If yourself or your family friends are at the moment looking for getting a loan, but not so much success, probably it's the time to contact us and we'll give you obligation-free advice and see, what we can help. Now, with our mindset, we never really hardly say no to the clients. It's always about what you can do to make that success and when you can success. Okay, so never give up. Thank you for watching. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.